Joining me now, Fox Nation host Tomi Lahren, who just visited the southern border. She's been down there about 5 times in recent months, mostly recently in April. David Tafuri, former Obama State Department official, whose law practice focuses on legal work in Latin America and other areas. Great to have both of you with us today. Tomi, let me start with you. What do you think of the reaction from the White House on that question?
Well, at the end of the day, they're going to do anything to sidestep the real crisis at the border, because if you go to the border and you see what's going on firsthand and you have the press with you seeing what's going on firsthand, you have to acknowledge the crisis and you have to find a solution. So it's so much easier for Kamala just to shrug it off. I also find it very interesting when she is asked why she isn't going to the border. She is so perturbed that she has even asked that question. She was named a border czar over 75 days ago by the Biden administration, by President Biden. For her to be so angry that she's even asked why she hasn't visited the border just goes to show you that the Democrats are not serious about stopping the crisis. They don't feel that the open border is a problem, and they're going to sit back and watch more people flow into this country, all part of the plan.
You know, I mean, David, Lester Holt also asked her, you know, why should people believe you when you say don't come? Because she had a big 180. You know, during the election, she said, everyone is welcome here. She said, say it loud, say it clear, everyone is welcome here. Tweeted out that message. And then she said this yesterday.
Well, I think when she tweeted that,
Hang on one second.
Let's
let's just listen. I'm sorry. Let's play that. Go ahead, David. We're getting it cued. What's your reaction?
Well, I think when she said that...
I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come.
Okay, sorry about that, David, but it's like a pretzel twist, keeping up with the different message here.
What she said when she tweeted that during the campaign is that she welcomes people to come to the U.S. legally. And of course, our country has really benefited from legal immigration in the past. We are a country of immigrants. What she made clear during her visit to Guatemala, her first overseas visit as the vice president, was do not come, meaning do not come from Guatemala, from Honduras, from El Salvador, the 3 Northern Triangle countries, illegally. Do not make that long trip. Do not put yourself at risk. Do not put your kids at risk if you intend to come illegally, because we plan to enforce
They never make that distinction, though, David. They never talk in the terms that you just mentioned. They talked about, you know, during the campaign, President Biden said, if you are fleeing oppression, you should come. You know, they deserve to be heard. You should surge to the border if you are seeking asylum. I mean, this message has changed dramatically. And it strikes me, and I want to get Tomi to weigh in on this as well, the presidents of Guatemala and Mexico have said very clearly, hey, this time it's not our fault. It's the message that was given by this administration that is causing this surge, and they want it to stop because the coyotes are overrunning their countries with these policies. Tomi, real quick, and then back to you, David.
Yeah. A couple of things I will say about that. Yeah. You can say do not come, but when you incentivize people to come and they know that they're going to come into this country, get stimulus checks, get health care, receive sanctuary in states like California, and be caught and released, they're going to keep coming. And at the end of the day, another thing I'd like to say about this, Kamala on her little 2-day escapade to find the root causes. The root causes are very simple. Number one, you are essentially inviting people here by incentivizing it. And number two, when you have people coming across the border paying criminal organizations and paying coyotes, you are effectively funding the very organizations that are oppressing people in these home countries that are fleeing. So it's a circular effect. So if she wants to know the root causes, it all goes back to this administration and the open border policy.
David.
When Biden talks about people coming here if they are oppressed, what he means is you can come here if you have a true political asylum claim. There's an international standard for political asylum, which is, do you have a well-founded fear of death or serious bodily harm as a result of your political views or other legal things that you are doing? So we have always stood for political asylum. Many of our greatest contributors are political asylees who came to the United States fleeing war in World War II, fleeing Germany, fleeing all sorts of other atrocities by foreign countries. So he's saying we still accept legal asylum applicants who meet the standard. But what he's also doing, by the way, is beefing up the resources at the border so we can process asylum applicants more quickly and we can turn them back if they don't meet that standard.
David, what
and the Biden administration is also trying to get
But David,
more.
What you're saying is, it sounds really logical. I think there are a lot of Americans across this country who listen to you and say, yes, okay, but that is not what is happening. They're saying that the border is closed. America says, do not come. The border is closed. But we see every single day people pour across the border. We also see that in many cases they get to stay. And then they're told you can send your kids over, but they have to come solo. So then we've got little kids getting dropped over the fence and, being left with their teddy bears by the coyotes. How is this the system that you say President Biden wanted and talked about? That's not what's happening.
Well, the system is broken, clearly, and it needs more attention. But, of course, there is an increase in attempts to illegally immigrate here from the border. There's also an increase in apprehensions. So we are doing more on enforcement.
That's because everybody was told they should come.
They were never told they should come.
Do you want me to play the soundbite for you?
No.
This is President Biden. If you are fleeing oppression, you should come. I want people to. They should immediately surge the border. Immediately search. Well, all these people do think they're seeking asylum. They all believe they have a good asylum claim.
No, if you're fleeing a country because you don't have a good job, that's not oppression.
Well, then they shouldn't have had to make the trip. There's a lot of mixed messages here. It's very confusing, I think, for a lot of folks. We'll see how this whole visit plays.